I'm Kyle Walden, and welcome to another episode of High Desert Heathenry. So I'm out here, I'm at Coyote Cabin. I got Justin, the fish wizard, with me. We're up here hanging out. I plan on, testing out some of my gear. I have a new wool blanket. We have a wood stove in here, so it's not that bad. And I slept with a sleeping bag in here last time, and I was just sweating the whole night. So the wool blanket's probably gonna be fine with a bedroll. We have some bunks in there and stuff. But here in a minute, I'm gonna test out this little old timer. And it's not a normal one. It's actually a full carving kit. If you look, it's got all the different carving tools that you need to make spoons and cups and whatever else. So I'm gonna sit down here in a little while and check this out. Maybe you guys will enjoy seeing me mess up or cut my finger off, who knows? Probably not that, but I hope not that. Goodness. But anyway, yeah, we could do a little review. I'll show you my wool blanket that I have. It's an Ectos 100% virgin wool, queen size wool blanket. It's 7.5 pounds. Pretty freaking heavy. But yeah, let's go on in. Look at Crash. He's hanging out, being a good dog, as always. If you followed me on Instagram, you've definitely seen pictures of this place before. So it's a little dark in here. We normally have this late when it starts to get a little bit darker. But we got Justin's bunk here. We use the top bunks for storage unless we're sleeping a bunch of people in here. You can sleep 6, but I'm not gonna say it's comfortable. And here is my wool blanket. This thing's actually really, really nice. I'll bring it out in the daytime in the morning and talk about it some more probably. And then Crash's bed, look at that. Yeah, he's a good boy, huh? So, pretty tiny little old cabin. We had to seal all the cracks with the foam. We didn't scrape it off. I know, we've been lazy, but this is not our cabin. This is actually just a BLM cabin that's out here. So it's called Coyote Cabin. It's out here in Dixie Valley, Nevada. Me and my buddies take care of it all the time. We fix the roof, replace the chimney stack, or the stovepipe, whatever you want to call that, We built a wood shelter on the side right here with some sheet metal and stuff. Built a little table down right here. I'm in the process of trying to build kind of a redneck front porch. I'll show you here in a minute. We just reinforced the fire pit. We repair the water line that comes from the spring, comes down into this pool that's down here, I'll show you. And we're constantly gathering a bunch of the deadfall because it's all pine, it's all covered in sap. It's basically just like prime fatwood waiting to go up like a match. So we go through and we pick that up all the time, and we're constantly stocking the wood storages here because other people come here besides us because it is a BLM public property place. So we try to keep it really nice, clean it out, sweep it, everything we can do to keep it nice. This way we fixed the roof. We did everything because we camp here and other people do as well. Some people just come here to hang out, but we try to make it really nice to where it's dry. And if you got stuck up here in a snowstorm and you couldn't get out because the road is steep, muddy, rocky, you know what? Hang out in here. Got the wood stove going. It's probably a nice 78 to 80 degrees in here right now. That's why I got the door open all the time and the window cracked. So it's pretty freaking awesome. But let's go look around the property, if you want to call it a property, I guess. Broken window. We have to get some new ones somewhere. Not new ones, but used ones wherever we can find them. Like I said, if you follow my Instagram, you'll have seen this picture about 1,000 times over through every season. I take a picture of this every time I come here, typically just to have a compare and contrast of all the different seasons and the daylight and just how this place looks. It changes with time just like we do. So we've been out here. Like I said, there's a ton of pine. It's all dead, but you can see there's a lot of fat in it, and I've been shaving the fat wood off of it. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely outstanding. So here in a minute, I'll show you some of the footage I took, like, I don't know, half an hour ago or something, when I was actually getting ready to start this fire. And fantastic, just to say the least. That's all I can say. This stuff is the best, oiliest, greasiest fat wood I've ever used, ever. Look at that. It's just like pure man candy. Look at this. Wood wood man candy. I don't know what you can call that. Lumberjack candy. Look at this. The amount of resins in the wood. We can find a ton of this stuff. We get it all the time. Really, really nice fat wood. We're chopping just chunks of it up right now and preparing it. That way we can keep it in our, our bug out bags. Give it to friends and family because we all use it. Amazing, just beautiful. So if you don't understand what fat wood is, this here is, well, that's what it is. It's fat wood. It's wood fibers that are absolutely saturated with resins and sap. So anytime you hear that word, it's typically pine. You know, this is a pinyon pine. Justin's got another piece here for me. You can see the streaks. So you can see the fibers that are not as saturated. They're the light colored ones. And then, you don't want the really dark stuff like this right here. You just shave this off into very, very fine shavings. And it just turns out amazing. It just lights on fire instantly. You can strike it. You can use a match, whatever you need to. And it burns really hot. And it burns longer than just normal wood. Wood. Yeah. So anyway, we use this, and that's what we do to strike, just fires in wet environments. And that's why we harvest this stuff and keep it, because it is very valuable. You just use the blade. Just shave it off. You want to get a bunch of really thin shavings. So take your time to get them nice and thin. So we have a really small pile of shavings here. What I'm gonna do, at least attempt to do, is take this ferro rod here, and I'm gonna try to strike a couple of these on fire. Here's the backhoe. Look at that. Look how fast that goes up. Absolutely amazing. Right there. Still not hot enough yet. It's starting to sizzle. You can hear it just a little bit. So we had a barbecue sitting here. I got all my fat wood stacked on there I've been collecting, but here, stuck the corn in there. I'm gonna flip it every once in a while just to kind of bake it in there, because that fire is so hot that if I put it too close, the entire corn cob is just gonna set on fire. So that right there will help catch some heat and kind of bake it with the heat vent coming out this way. Super good. I approve. Good morning, everyone. Got up here. I woke up at about 5, stoked up the fire because it started getting kind of cold after we ate dinner. I just crashed right away after we ate. Justin, I mean, he's been up since around 5:30 or so. I went back, fell asleep for a while till about 7:30, and now we've been hanging out here. getting ready to do up some coffee. And I'll turn around so you can kind of see the bunks again. I mean, here's my little storage bunkers. Everything's kind of stuck up there right now. But my pad back here, I had the wool blanket. That served pretty good. But the pad, man, that was brutal. I need to get a better air mattress or something for just on these bunks. That's the only thing that really kills me. The ground isn't even as bad as these wood bunks. Oof. So this wool blanket, I mean, this did a really good job. It's really thick. It's 7.5 pounds total weight. It is pretty nice. I just doubled it over, had it on top of me all night. The dog was down here on a whoopee. He didn't like that, so he came up here with me on this bunk, and I just had him sleeping with me on this Thermarest Ridge Rest mat, which is okay. You can see my improvised pillow, which did not work. And I gave Justin here a whoopee, same mat, and my other blanket. That's why I had 2 blankets, because this one's a little bit more lightweight. It's like 80% wool, whatever. But yeah. So this morning, we're sitting here making up some Nescafe Taster's Choice and some Mountain House Chili Mac. So, see how the day goes. I actually plan on using this today because it got dark pretty fast last night. And I want to find something to whittle on with this and kind of test out these different blades and, you know, see how they work.
Oh yeah, nice shiner.
Look at this. You can actually hear the chucker if you listen, if we're quiet. So check this out here. We've got the pond, and it's kind of frozen, not as bad. You know, a couple weeks back, I should say, we were out here, and this was an entire brick of ice. There was no water flow coming out of the pipe or anything, and everything was completely solid. Crash is happy to be out of the cabin. He says, man, that place heckin' sucks. So I'm taking Crash on a walk, hiking up the road a little ways. Just go check it out. I know there's a little camp spot up here up ahead. I'll show you guys. And there was some wood up there, and I've gone back up there and stacked it really nicely, so that way it's kind of up under the bushes and stuff. And we might have a little fire up there later on our way back or something. We'll just see. I'm really stoked. It's kind of cold out here, but really stoked because got all my gear. Pretty toasty overall, but I'm using my Pathfinder pack from Self-Reliance Outfitters, so really stoked on this. It actually fits really good. The waistband and everything is really comfortable. I'm really enjoying this pack so far. I had a lot more gear on it and in it initially, but I left a bunch of that inside the cabin just for the sake of weight and size. I used it, you know, just to strap everything to my pack as like a big bundle for getting to camp. I unload a bunch of it. That way I can actually hike and comfort and not have to break my back, because it was definitely overloaded for sure. Some people have come out here and left logs that say that they see big cats, or maybe they got stuck in the cabin because a big cat had like pinned them inside the cabin. They had to wait for it to leave. So I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled. And all that stuff doesn't really surprise me, because you'll come up, you know, in this specific area right here, go under a tree sometimes to find a dead cow or bones and just chunks of meat and stuff like that. So who really knows? This is one of my favorite places in all Nevada. I go all over Nevada, and I mean, there's some beautiful places for sure, like around the creeks and Smith Creek, Big Creek, Kingston, Tahoe, of course, but there's something special about being out here in all these rocks, these pine trees, and little bits of snow and stuff. And some of the snow is actually melting and running down through the creek bed right now. I'll walk over there and show you that. On my way over to the creek bed, ran into that little camp spot I was telling you about. Got some firewood there. Got some more stuck right here. And there actually was a fire ring here at one point, but it looks like it got moved or destroyed or something. I know there's one up that way as well. It's like there used to be an old road that went up there, and there's a bunch of trees that have been felled, and they're stuck all up on the mountainside all over this place. And nature's slowly reclaiming it with overgrowth. I like to come out to these mountains and collect fatwood, because all of this is pine, and a ton of it's getting old, and some of the trees are just blowing over and falling, shattering everywhere, and it starts to make a fire hazard for sure. It's all just covered in drippy sap. So I've actually got this cool little collection pouch on my belt, and it's like a little leather roll. You unroll it, and then it's got like a canvas pouch on the inside of it. With that, I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna try to collect a bunch of the crumbled dry, not sticky at all, but totally dry sap, and then some really quality pieces of fatwood. And I didn't bring an axe with me. I've just got my knife, and I've got my backhoe, Laplander, little folding saw. Oh, Crash sees something. What'd you see, boy? It's a rock, bro. Those are rocks. This dog is a ton of fun. I love having him with me. Sometimes he's a handful because he's high energy and he always wants to do something, but he's my little buddy, and we come out here and have a lot of adventures together. He's been out here a couple times with me to this exact location, and it's always a good time. As you can see, there's little bits of water here and there, and it comes all the way up from a spring way up there, and we have the other spring up by the cabin, but it only appears in certain places until it has enough time to accumulate into a pool and keep running down all the way down the valley. Look at this gigantic dead pine. There's a bunch of these. So walking up a little farther, I found where this tree had fallen. Look what we got here. Some nice pine punkwood, full of resins, and it's getting to the point that's old and just crumbling. So what's cool is you can break this up or just turn it into really fine chips, shavings, whatever you want to do with it, and it sparks up really easy. Also, check it out. You see the little light colored hairs there? Burnt my face last night. You can see half of my mustache got a nice trim. The other half's all crazy from from just waking up. But the whole tip there, one tip's really long, one tip's short, because I was lifting a little barbecue lid that I was using to cook the corn on the fire, and all the heat came out and it like backflashed on me and singed the whole like left side of my face. So I got to go back and trim my beard up. One side's look at that, the mustache tips on that side are long, non-existent there. Oh well, it ain't that bad. You know, stuff happens. Yeah, this is a really fun hike. I love coming out here, taking the dog, giving him some exercise, and it's kind of good because he hurt his leg a while back. It was like his ACL was damaged, and it's kind of a good therapy for him. He's pulling my leash around. Sorry, I'm spinning. But yeah, it's this is good. It's good for me. I need to go out and hike more. It's the best like form of exercise and therapy for me personally. Just being away from everything, clean air, a little thinner air, and just get out and have fun. Live life and experience nature. Absolutely fantastic. Hi, dude. I know you're digging it. A little bit more water coming on down. Like I was saying, you can see it pools up and just builds up and works its way down. One of the really cool things about being up at a little bit higher altitudes is the lichens and stuff like that. It's really interesting to look at the different colors and the patterns of how they grow over the surface and stuff. Tell you what, hiking up this hill, it's getting steeper and steeper. Ooh, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. Oh, I just realized my camera wasn't in 4K until just a few minutes ago, so part of it's going to look like a potato and part of it's going to look crisp. Whatever, that's the way it works sometimes. But man, I'm going to have to take this beanie off and my jacket off probably here in a little bit. I'm going to try to make it up to this little cave that's up here. Sit down and have a beer and have some water. All right, made it up here to the top of the hill. Pretty spectacular view when you're looking down the mountain. All the rocks and everything. Pretty awesome. So I actually found this cool little spot right here behind me. A little like natural rock enclosure. I might sit here for a minute just because the view is so nice. And then I'm gonna walk down to that cave that's actually below me now. I love this. Look at like just what the weather's done, you know? Wind and rain. Carving these holes through all the rocks. Well, I'm up a ways from some water, so I'm gonna unpack my little nesting cup, like canteen cup kind of thing for, you know, for like an Nalgene bottle. Got this so I can give my dog some H2O here. Oh man, this is such a good day. You know, it's middle of January, middle to end of January, whatever you want to say, but it's typically frigid cold out here, and I'm out here in a t-shirt right now just sweating. So I'm really happy to be out here right now. This is just awesome. The view is spectacular. The kind of early midday sun still got that like early morning feel to it, you know. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now. This is just right, you know, just what it should be. Pretty awesome. And you want to get in the frame? There you go. Heck, he's my good boy, huh? I love this dog. He's always coming on adventures with me, just hanging out, being good, handsome as heck. All the good qualities of a dog. He hates his harness though, I tell you. He hates this thing. Oh, I know, it's so itchy, huh? But you gotta have it because you're a runner, fortunately. He'll just dip the heck out and I'll have to go chase him across the mountainside until he's so exhausted that, you know, that he just stops. And out here it's kind of steep, so he might stop sooner than later. Heck, I'm just gonna make sure he doesn't run off. That, there's some, like I said, there's big cats, there's all sorts of stuff out here, so whatever. Oh, you're crazy, dude. Well, let's have some tea, huh? What the heck is that? Is that tea? Oh, jeez. Here in a little bit, after I drink this tea, we're just gonna walk, you know, whatever that is, 100 feet over, and I'll show you this cave. It's actually about like 50 feet below where I'm sitting right now. There's a big old cave that you can walk into, and you can tell people have been burning fires in it, and there's like a little back opening as well, so it could get airflow and suck heat and smoke through it if you wanted to do that for whatever reason. I'm always wondering if I'm going to walk up here and see like an animal sleeping in the caves, because I have walked up here before and run into our state animal, the bighorn sheep, and there was 3 of them, and at first I thought it was like a deer decoy or something because it wasn't moving, and I was like, who the heck hikes all the way up to the top of this mountain to put a decoy out here to mess with people, you know? And I'm looking at it, and the closer I got, it was like turned and then it stopped and it looked at me, and then it started like putting its head down like it wanted to ram me, but there was like a big, you know, rock gap, and I'm sitting here thinking like, I don't know if this thing can jump this gap, but I don't want to find out and have it come over and like Superman punt me off the freaking the cliff up there. So I mean, it was way up on the top of those rocks that I keep filming that are way up here. And, oh man, it's so rocky. It's just all shale. It's super steep. There's thorn bushes everywhere. It's the high desert, you know. But it's a beautiful place at the same time. I love it up here. Skull to the beauty of nature. You can't drink this, bro. So I was just sitting there talking to you guys about those rocks, and I'm trying to find a way to get down here to the cave. And you'll actually see it's quite a bit bigger than what it looks like right here. The issue is getting around all this stuff. It's kind of a bummer. I had to hike all the way around the back side there. And it was kind of tricky to get over here. But as you can see, I'm at the cave. So we're going to take a peek inside there. I already looked. There's some bones. And people have stacked up rocks because you can tell they were hiding here, camping out, whatever. It's a good spot to hide from the snow and the wind, and there is chopped firewood up here already from somebody with a saw, like a chainsaw, who took down some trees or something way up here. I don't know why the hell you'd hike up here with a chainsaw, but let's take a look. So here we are. So there's like a little rock wall they had built. You see there's some bones and stuff up in here. And if we crawl in here far enough, you can actually look back and see the daylight going through the other side. Like that's what I was talking about with the airflow. I mean, it's not like it's an airtight cave by any means. There's like multiple openings to it, but it's still pretty cool. It'd be a good spot to shelter up in if you needed to for whatever reason out here in the mountains and hunting, hiking, whatever reason. Like I said, there's already wood here, prime location. Finding cool stuff like this is a big part of why I come out, you know. I'm always out here just hiking and having a good time, but when you do find like caves and cool stuff like that, it's pretty awesome. That, and there's already wood here, and there's a ton of wood all over the mountain that's just dead, that dead pine. So it's not like it'd be that hard to start a fire here, but it's just awesome. The fact that this is even in existence, and that I'm here at the same time to be able to appreciate it. Cool stuff. Okay, so what's really cool about this small cave is if you can see, the inside has black soot all over it. It's really small, which means somebody was using that as a natural oven. The only thing that makes sense. They're putting fire in there and using it to roast something, cook meat, do whatever they were doing with it, even just to have a normal fire that was, you know, windproof or whatever. That's what this is used for, is, I think, cooking. That makes the most sense to me. But still, that is freaking cool. And now I know it's here, so you know what? I might have to do a video where I come out, camp in the big cave, and then try to use this to make a roast or something in it. Pretty awesome. Well, that was good for now. Just hiking up here. I'm actually not going to go way back to where all the other trees are to gather more fatwood, because there's plenty of it right over by the cabin. I just have to hike up the other side of the hill over there. And a lot shorter hike, for sure. Probably like 100 feet instead of, you know, a mile each way or something. But, you know, it's been fun. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the dog on back. Probably hang out, have some coffee, have a beer, whatever. Hang out for another hour or two. And at that point, we'll be packed up, sign the logbook for the cabin, and make sure everything's right for the next visitors. And we'll head on out. If you guys are wondering why I'm not wearing my Zero boots, it's because a hot coal popped out of the fire and melted a hole in the top of the mesh on my left foot. So I had to switch back to wearing normal boots. Yeah, I've kind of been bummed about my my Zero shoes, boots. So they're really comfortable. They're really overall pretty durable. For what I've been wearing them for, I was wearing them for just normal work purposes, farm purposes, hiking, hunting, fishing, getting them wet, everyday shoes walking through town. They're great. So with the Zero Excursion Fusion is the boot I'm talking about specifically. It's their ultralight waterproof hiking boot. So that one specifically, the issues I found with it, it's mesh, right? The whole top of it's mesh to make it super ultralight, but it's a waterproof boot, so it doesn't need mesh because it's not going to be breathable, right? And they could have made it leather. That would have kept the hot coal from, you know, burning through the boot and making it worthless. Especially because I paid $160 for them, and 2 months later they're burnt through, right? And they have a 5,000 mile warranty on the sole, but what does that matter if the rest of the boot can't make it the whole way? The other issue I found was they were so waterproof and did not breathe at all, to the point that my feet would be soggy. Like middle of winter, dead of winter, I was out here at this exact location. It was 9 degrees. I was out here in the snow. It was 9 degrees the entire weekend pretty much. And my feet were soaked in sweat just because they could not breathe. And I had to go and change my socks a billion times just to keep my feet dry, which made my feet cold because they were wet. That was kind of a bummer. So the overall body of the shoe was weak, and it also got snagged in thorns a lot and like sagebrush bushes and stuff. So I was afraid I was always going to rip the fabric. But yeah, them getting melted like that, and you know, the sweatiness and just not breathable boot, that really sucked. Sorry, my dog's pulling his leash. He's trying to get the heck out of this little ravine that we're in. But yeah, that's just with that. The Prio all day shoes, you know, I've been wearing those pretty much last 2-3 weeks straight, all day long for everything I do. I haven't been out hiking in them or doing anything other than walking like down the street and down dirt roads. And they're kind of bumming me out in a way as well. It's not because they're comfortable or not comfortable, I should say, but it's because the sole on the inside of like the arch area of my right foot, it seems like the sole is starting to separate from the leather, or the leather has a little cut in it or something. It's starting to tear. I'm not really sure. It's just right there at that, like the seam. And that's bumming me out because those were $130. I ordered all those shoes at the same time, so I ended up spending like $300 on these 2 sets of shoes. And they're super comfortable. They do what they say they're gonna do. You know, Zero shoes is not wrong for making those boots. It's just the way I live, and the way I hike and hunt and fish and do all this stuff. Those boots were not sturdy enough for my applications. So I need a all leather boot. I actually emailed them and I told Zero about the issues that I was having with the Zero Excursion Fusion, and that it had melted, and they said that issue is not covered under the 5,000 mile warranty, but what's covered, not what's covered, they were just nice enough to give me 60% off of a replacement pair of those boots, just because I was giving them feedback for their, you know, R&D, and they were really, really cool about it. So the only issue is I don't want to get another pair of those boots because they make my feet sweat so damn bad. So with that, I'm going to go, and I'm probably going to get another pair of their boots, but I'll get the Daylight Hiker Fusion or whatever it's called. That'll be a lot better of a boot for me because it'll breathe. And I'm not walking through tons of water. And when I am, I'm probably just going to get a specific pair of waterproof or snow boots or something like that for that kind of issue. The Prio all day, I'll give you another update on those as I wear them in more and more. You know, put a couple thousand miles on them or something to see if they actually fail. Like, I'm worried about the body of the shoe failing, not the actual sole. I'm worried that the leather is going to crack and tear or something at this point. So we'll just see. I'll keep you updated. The boots I'm wearing right now are actually original SWAT brand boots. I got them, they're like $70 or something like that, a little bit cheaper. Got them over at the local sporting goods shop in Fallon, just because I needed something that I could take out here and keep my feet from getting stabbed by thorns and you know, getting pierced through the bottom while I'm out here hiking through all of this kind of stuff. Anyway, enough chit chatting. This dog wants to get back to the camp. He's yanking on the leash, so I'm going to take him on back, and we'll maybe sit down and talk about some gear once we get there. I hope that you enjoy watching these videos and hanging out with me. You know, I'm sorry the camera's so shaky. I'm just using my phone for this, my iPhone 12 mini, out here hiking around and just having fun, bringing you along on my adventures, because why not, you know? I know that not everybody can get out and hike and do all this kind of stuff, and I'm privileged enough to be able to do this. And I have enough good health, etc., and resources that I can record all this, slip on some ice and almost eat it on camera. Whew, that was close. But you know, I just want to bring you along because I've been in a position before in my past where I was too broke, didn't have a vehicle, didn't have what it took for me to be able to get outdoors. And I've always been outdoors, living out here in Nevada, but you know, becoming a young adult and getting into the working world and stuff, you don't always have time to go out and enjoy the things that you love doing. And if you're stuck inside for whatever reason you can't be out here, I just hope that you enjoy watching these videos where we come out and just do stuff, because that's what it's about. You know, and I appreciate all of you watching my videos. It means a lot to me. It really helps the channel when people, you know, like, share, and subscribe to the videos. You can add notifications even. That way, you know, you're just notified immediately as soon as I'm posting new videos. Check it out and spread the word, you know. That really does help me out, and it helps other people out, because then more people can find the channel, and then they can also enjoy the same videos. You know, when they're stuck inside due to whatever issues are happening in the world that are keeping them inside their home, you know. But hey, we're back to the cabin now, so check it out. Little dog's leading the way. All right, everybody, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and end this video here. Now that I'm back at the cabin, I'm gonna take some time to get some things wrapped up here. That way it's just easily managed when we want to get it in the vehicle. And then I'm gonna sit down and I'll probably go over this old timer carving knife that I have, do a little review on that. Maybe talk about some other gear. We'll just see how it goes. I'm not really sure. I don't have a plan. I know I'm gonna do the knife review for sure. Just carving on a stick or something, just to see how the blades are working, how sharp it is, etc. And maybe have some coffee, have a beer. We'll see how it goes. I'm only gonna be here for a couple more hours, so I want to get that knocked out. Like I said, I do need to clean up around here a little bit and make sure the property looks good and everything's right for the next visitor. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you really enjoy these videos. I hope you find them maybe informative, maybe just fun, relaxing, whatever it is. I just hope you like them. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, have a blessed day, and I'll see you soon.